So I watched a friend lose 3 jobs in 1 week. And it wasn't because his work sucked or because he was an asshole or anything like that. It was because he did not pick up the phone every time a customer called. But when we took a deeper look at his business, that was only one part of the problem. You see, most home service and contractor businesses like roofers, landscapers, cleaners, mechanics, any job like that, they leave a lot of money on the table because they don't have systems in place to turn those calls or those clicks or those texts into paid jobs. So my friend, he does great work. He's a real stand-up guy, but what was happening was he would miss phone calls that he didn't even know came in. And at that point, he had already been in business for about 3 years. But when we looked him up, he didn't have any reviews, or he hardly had reviews. His website, it wasn't built to turn visitors into customers. But I would say worst of all is he didn't have any follow up, meaning, he would finish a job, but after he finished the job, nothing would happen after that. I mean, by the time he would get back to people, they had already hired somebody else. But that's when it clicked for me that it's not always the person that does the best work that wins the job, right? It's the person that has the better systems in place that usually gets that job. I mean, because you could be out here busting your ass all day, but while you're busy doing that, someone or something has to keep the business going while you're away. So I'm going to show you what's actually bringing in jobs, and I'll also show you the system that I use to get more 5-star reviews, text people back after you missed the call, and what we're doing to follow up with past customers because, the past customers are the best customers. So every home service and contracting business should have like a simple website in place, right? And it just should tell people what to do next. So say someone lands on your website. People don't usually, read the whole site. They kind of just skim around. But when they're skimming, they're looking for three main things. What do you do? Where do you work? And if they should trust you or not. So as you can see here, what do? We do home improvement and handyman services. Where do we work? This person is in Houston, Texas. And if they should trust us or not, well, we're getting 4.8 out of 5 stars on Google. So I would say that if your site doesn't have what they want in like the first 3 to 5 seconds, people usually aren't, going to stay on that site. They're going to leave. They're gone. So this is how we set ours up. It's a clean layout. Everything is clean. It's a big call button at the top of the page. The services are listed out, right up front and center. And then we also have a form that people can fill out quickly. So, there's no confusion. People can send messages, make a call, and look at your past work. That's it. That's all we want them to do. So that's pretty much all you need to have in place to turn some of those website visitors into like paying customers. But so what makes our sites a little different from everyone else's is once someone fills out, like say this form right here, it automatically kicks off a text conversation. So what that means is the second someone fills out that form right there, they get a text to their phone right away. So now you're talking to them while, they're still interested in whatever service you have, even if you're busy or doing something else. So say I'm a customer and I'm just looking for some work. So I want to know more, right? And I click send. Right away, I get a text message back that says, "Hey, Will, just got your text through my web chat. Thanks for reaching out. I'll be in touch as soon as I'm free." So now the conversation is going, right? Even if you're busy, it automatically keeps them interested. It automatically keeps them hot. So if you do good work, you should be getting reviews after every single job. And, that's what Google cares about. But most importantly, that's what the customers look at, right? I mean, you can be the best at whatever you do in whatever city you in. But if you only have 5 reviews and old boy from down the street has 150, take a guess at who's getting all that work. Right. The guy with more reviews, right? So reviews are just proof that you do good work. And honestly, that makes people feel safe, choosing you over the next guy. So here's how I have it set up, right? So after every job is finished, a text automatically gets sent out with, the review link. So let's just say someone clicks 4 or 5 star, right? Well, it will send them straight to, well, this is not, but it will send them straight to a Google page where they can leave a review. Right now, this is not connected to a Google. But let's say they click 3 star, 2 star, or 1 star, right? Then they'll get sent to an automatic feedback page where they can tell you their concerns, but it doesn't go to your Google page. You can answer that internally, right? And so, doing it this way, getting reviews doesn't depend on you like remembering to ask them, or that awkward ask like, can you leave me a review? You know what I mean? So either you're going to ask for a review every single time, or you can have a system or a person in place to do that for you. And that's actually how reviews are built up. Service or you do contracting, you're gonna miss calls, right? I mean, it's gonna happen. It happens to everybody. And that's what my friend was dealing with too. He wouldn't pick up the phone when people were calling. And that could be because you're working, it could be because you're driving, it could be because you're with a customer. You just not able to answer the phone every time someone calls. But the part that sucks is, customers, they don't usually wait around or try to call back if you miss that call. They already call the next person to do that service. So in my business, this is how we have it set up. And this is a pretty good example right here. This just happened. So a call was missed, right? Right away, a text message gets sent out saying, hey, sorry I missed you in the middle of a job. If you want to give me a few details about your inquiry, that would be awesome. Can't read. So now instead of them not hearing from me and it being silent, they at least know that I saw their call, and I'll get back to them when I can, right? And this doesn't actually close the job for you, but what it does is buy you time until you can actually get on the phone and call them back, right? And so missed calls isn't the only place that guys lose money. It happens after the job too, right? And so this is how most service and contracting businesses work. They do the job, they get paid, they might shake their hand, but that's it. Like nothing happens after that. They literally never talk to that customer again, which is wild because the easiest money you'll ever make is from someone that has already paid you, right? Because they already trust you, they already know your work, and they're just way more likely to call you again or to send you a referral or something like that. But if you disappear, they just forget about you. And it's not on purpose or anything like that. You're just not in front of them. So remarketing just means, staying in front of those past customers just, so they won't forget about you. And I mean, it's nothing spammy or nothing annoying or anything like that. Just small check-ins, little reminders or little offers, every once in a while. So this is how I have it set up in my business. So once someone leaves that review, they automatically get dropped into this follow-up list right here. So every month or so, they get a simple text, maybe a reminder or maybe an offer or, maybe a seasonal service or something like that. And it's just enough to keep your name fresh in their mind, right? And really that's where the repeat jobs and the referrals come from, right? And all this is happening without you having to chase, new customers all the time. And I know this probably look confusing, but it would look something like this. Hey, contact first. Now I'm running a seasonal special this week and giving away whatever discount you have, right? It's only for the first 3 people. So if you're interested or know someone that might be, just tap the link. We'll send them a link with the discount code and, they can click that. Now they're re-engaged. Now they're back into your ecosystem, right? So at the end of the day, everything I just showed you was just the basics or, the foundational stuff that every home service business or contractor should have online. So that's a simple website, reviews coming in, missed calls getting handled, and a way to stay in touch with past customers. Now, with all that in place, the business just runs smoother and you're not losing those, simple jobs or easy jobs that you should have gotten. And now you're actually in a spot to where running ads makes sense because now there's a system in place that can actually handle those calls or those texts and send out those follow-up messages.